Barolo and Barbaresco 2017. It's the new vintage ready now in the bottle. The wine is exciting, it's juicy, fruity, rich. It's time to get to know it better. The outcome of vintage 2017 is quite a surprise. In fact, we had a mild winter with little snow, a normal beginning of the spring, but then all of a sudden, at the end of April, the temperature dropped at night and we had frost that killed many of the buds. This was really scary. It looked like the crop was compromised. The rest of the year went very well, almost ideal. The temperature went up in the summer. It was hot and humid, but not excessive. And it would have been too dry in July and August if it weren't for the fact that luckily at the end of August and then again in early September it rained. So this led to a very early grape harvest for Nebbiolo, mostly in the last week of September, one of the earliest ever. And the grapes looked beautiful, really healthy, fewer in quantity, but very concentrated, low in acidity and very high in sugar content. I have great memories of that harvest in 2017, so summery, so hot and beautiful. It happened very few times to pick Nebbiolo in September. It happened in 1997 and again in 2003. But this time it was different. American journalist Antonio Galloni wrote that 17 is polished, is vivid, is flat out delicious, but it's not cooked or overripe like sometimes happened in 2003. And I agree with him. The wines are youthful, they're joyous, they're really very extroverted, very open. And this is what we can confirm now in the glass. The grapes came to the winery with plenty of anthocyanins, the elements that contribute to the depth of color, and in general, relatively low acidity, in particular low malic acidity, together with relatively high pH. This results into very soft wines, very fine tannins. When you look at the color comparatively, Barbaresco and Barolo, they're both very bright. Barbaresco slightly more ruby, a very deep, very beautiful ruby, whereas Barolo is a slightly darker, let's say more garnet, which is classic and very common in Barolo. Wow, they're very inviting in the bouquet, so open, so forward. This is again the beauty of 2017. The wines are so forward and so expressive. There's plenty of summer fruits. There's raspberries to cherries, but also spice, cinnamon and vanilla in particular, notes of mint and green tea leaves. Wonderful complexity, you know, very delicate, very fine in Barbaresco, stronger, more poignant in Barolo. Certainly, both wines have plenty of character already in the bouquet. Wow, this is nice already. There's so much fruit. There's really from the Denson plums, the small plums, and the cherries. It's a wine that really surprises us for how enjoyable it is, although it has also very long tannin in the aftertaste, and the finish is really smooth, really delicate, almost understated if you want, but the structure is there. Let's see Barolo. Barolo has more of a grip. It really stays on the tongue longer, and we know it's compared to Barbaresco right now, it's a little shyer, but this is only a temporary illusion. We know that Barolo needs more time, and it will definitely grow into a very rich, a very complex wine. Right now, it shows the force, the character of youth, a little bit also the early stage in which it is. But both have this pleasant approach. Both come across as being extremely gentle, extremely friendly, and this is unique to this vintage. Compared to the previous vintage, for example, 2016, that everybody raved about. We know 16 is a great vintage for keeping, but the wines are more introverted, I would say, whereas 2017 shows very extroverted both Barolo and Barbarescos. We're lucky to have them. We can drink them soon, but certainly also keep them a few years.